Hello, family, and good day. Welcome again to One Global Movement Speak with Heart, where we come together to build the hopes and dreams of children, young people, and women, and therefore entire communities. So, thank you guys so much for taking that time to be here, for really putting it in your mind that there is an important place that I have to be there. And that is a place where we come together to share our knowledge, our ideas, to share our heart and ourselves with children, women, and young people. And why? I always ask the question, why them? Because they are the most vulnerable in every society. We all know that. And the second reason is that when you empower children, young people, and women, you have empowered everyone globally, beginning with the family. And so this is so important, and this is exciting. I am really just so happy when I think about Wednesdays and Fridays. I know that I am going to meet with people who sincerely want to make an impact in the world and leave a lasting legacy. So thank you guys so much again. And sister, thank you so much for always choosing and researching on these important topics. And you get to reduce my workload, and I am highly appreciative of that. And
Thank you.
the managing director is already here, and we're going to keep rolling. And as usual, we want to be able to help these children to help themselves in a consistent manner. And
Yes.
whether it is meditation, whether it is prayers, whether it is reading the scriptures, this is so important. And reading it or meditating it or praying is in your way, your culture. What is your culture? What does it say? How is the Bible written? How are you raised? This is what we are doing here. This is not a one shoe fits all or one size fits all. But we take this knowledge, we disseminate it into ourselves, our homes, our families, and into our communities according to the tradition and the culture of that community. You do not have to force a child. We don't have to force ourselves for anything. And that is why here in One Global Movement, we always say yourself. Self is number one. You are the number one in everything
Mhm.
you do. Not even your children. Sometimes we make the mistake of saying our children is number one. Of course, they are number one after us, because if you take good care of yourself, if you invest in yourself the way that we are doing here and more, or even better, then those children will also enjoy, and they will in turn take the baton and take that legacy and move it on even to a better level. So that is what we are talking here. Take good care of yourself, drink lots of water, make sure that you are watching lots of natural things like watching the birds chirp, sing beautiful melodies. And just so talking about birds, my son, he's an animal lover. He's spending his money buying feed and doing things. Now he's just said, I'm going to post a video online that he made. He said he wants to create a hummingbird haven, and he's already doing that here.
Mm.
These hummingbirds are coming, and he's feeding them. They eat. They have such high metabolism, and they're so tiny. They I think I was still study about those birds, because he's trying to educate me on how much they eat, and we can talk about it here. We learn from those natural things, and that's what we should
Mhm.
occupy our minds with. So thank you, thank you, thank you. As usual, do it your way.
Yes.
Meditation, singing a song, whatever. All those ways are ways, creative ways that the Creator made for us to honor Him by helping others. Because we don't see Him, His Spirit, but we do so by helping children, women, young people, and of course, everyone, including our elders. So thank you guys so much. So let's do our thing here. And we are here breaking the circle, how literacy liberates girls and transforms communities. And we want to dedicate it into the hands of the Almighty to lead, guide, and protect us. Heavenly
Mhm.
Creator, source of all wisdom and light, we come before you again today as one global movement servants, united in faith, fire, and purpose, crying out for the liberation of every young woman, every girl held back by ignorance, inequality, customs and traditions, and injustice. You have endowed each child, each woman, and each soul with divine potential. And we boldly declare, O Lord, that illiteracy shall no longer be their prison. Illiteracy shall no longer be their chains. Let your truth break every chain of generational poverty, generational abuse, generational child marriage, replacing despair with possibility and silence with voice. Open the gates of knowledge, the floodgates of knowledge, Lord, that we were born and created with, to the girls of our world. Ignite in them a love for learning, reading, not just attending a classroom or a lesson, but acquiring skills that resonate with them, because those skills are inside of them. They were created with those skills that we, the parents, the caregivers, and the adults, we ignite these skills to take flight in them the way that you ask us to raise them. Oh Father, ignite in them a love that transform the world and transform their families, their communities, and their nations. Lord, we declare, oh God, that every girl, every female child with a book in her hand becomes a builder of destiny. That is illiteracy will be broken. That literacy is not just education, it is elevation, it is empowerment, it is escape from circles of dependency, from circles of hand me down, from circles of say you cannot do it, from circles of saying you were born into a poor family. Lord, break them. That when we teach a girl to read, we equip her to lead. Bless the hearts and hands of those sowing seeds of education, like they sowed in me. An entire village sowed in me, Lord. Help us here that together we can sow in others, the teachers, the mentors, the mothers, the fathers, and global partners. Anoint their efforts, oh Lord. Multiply their reach. Make literacy a living legacy in every land, because every land is rich the way you created, rich with knowledge. But let us ignite that fire, raising these children to learn, to read, and to rise. May governments rise with courage. May communities and villages invest with purpose. May we all recognize that eradicating poverty begins with unlocking the mind. Unlocking the mind. And the key is literacy. There is nothing we can do with a child without unlocking the mind, teaching them. Not the literacy of the world that says, I have to have this degree, I have to have this certification, but that kind that comes from within us. That when a child, not even seeing you doing it, they will begin to do it because you are doing that for the purpose of humanity. Let one global movement be the trumpet that never falls silent, a movement with eyes on the horizon, oh Father, feet on the ground planted so firmly, and heart aligned with justice, to do the thing that is right because it is the right thing to do, not because it favors us. Together, we pray that classrooms be built all over, in our backyards, in our homes, on corners of the streets, book cabinets everywhere, Lord, not just designated areas for classroom. That together curriculums be funded, beginning from home, curriculums that we write from our homes, not just waiting for somebody else to write it, Lord. That books be opened, that we will buy books even if we don't want to read it, or because we are adult, we will buy those books to give as gift to children, especially those that cannot afford it. that and never closed, that books would never be closed, but always be open in children. Lord, as we right now, we are carrying out community reading programs with families and their children. For every girl who dreams, we declare, Lord, that you were born to break the circle, that you were born to change the world, that you were born to place a book, a pen, and a pencil in the hands of those who cannot afford it. Lord, we thank you, and so let it be. Amen.
Amen. Sister, just watch out if you can see Sister Melanie. She's asked for the link, so I'm assuming that she's going to want to join. So just,
Okay, I will
oh,
send you the link, but sister, if you go to our mother's group, it's right there, but I will also try to send it to you.
yeah, you can send it on private chat here. I did that, so hopefully
No,
she's hearing us
I
and
will
seeing
not,
it.
because I'm the host, I won't be able to post it on the private chat.
Okay. Well, I did. So it's there and it's also in the chat because, we don't care if anybody wants to try and join us. We'll let them if we
Yes,
have space.
yes. And if
So,
they're
Sister
going to,
Melanie, the link is available. Please look for it there. Okay. And so now I'm going to go because, today is a long day for us. We have
yes,
lots of things to cover. We want to cover our mission statement, which is we want to share with everybody why we're so passionate and why One Global Movement has to work hard to succeed because this is a mission and vision that we want to be the new life for others. We
yes.
want our children to have a better life than has been going on for far too long. So, thank you, sister, for this platform. And thank you, everyone, for supporting us. Those who are here today and those who will watch later on, we really appreciate you. So, the vision and mission of One Global Movement, which we call OGM, will support any organization, group, or individual that aligns with its own global vision and mission, which is as follows. The mission of One Global Movement is to empower young people, children, and women worldwide with a focus on young women, providing them with the tools, sustainable solutions that will help them eradicate hunger, illiteracy, and poverty, to build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose. We believe that every child deserves access to nutritious food, quality education, and opportunities to thrive. Through global collaborative efforts, innovative programs, and community engagement programs, we strive to break the cycle of hunger, illiteracy, poverty, and build a future where every child can build on their hopes and dreams while reaching their full potential. Together, through divine intervention, love, and clean, safe, and valuable technology, we can create such a world. A world where no child goes to bed hungry, no child is denied an education, and no child is limited to poverty or to any condition that is not of their own making. It is possible. We will die trying. Our
Yes,
gratitude and tribute always goes to our CEO for bringing this world family together for the purpose of providing solutions to all sectors of the global economy, beginning with our children. We thank him and his well chosen building teams. We love you all and wish you eventual success. And that is the vision and mission of One Global Movement.
thank you, sister.
You are very welcome. And so today, another lovely topic about
All
how
right.
we can break these generational cycles because they have been endemic and going on for just far too long. And it seems as if there are people doing things, but it's just not working. So we're going to start from the beginning again.
Mhm.
So, as I said, thank you for the platform, sister, because where else? I don't see anybody else, right?
Thank you.
So, I'm beginning with this powerfully true African proverb. And I know that John might have an issue with this, but it says, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate a nation. People
Yes.
argue with that, but because women are natural multipliers, because we start from the very beginning and we're very humble. We're not too proud.
Mhm.
We're looking at the big picture. So today I want us to reflect on a simple but profound idea. Literacy is not just about reading books. It's about reshaping futures and rewriting destinies. That's how important it is, right?
Mhm.
We are here to break those cycles. We are here to talk about breaking those cycles, the cycle of poverty, the cycle of early marriages, the cycle of inequality. And at the center of that cycle is a girl who is too often denied the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to rise. But when you give her literacy, you give her power.
Yes.
So I've divided this into 4 or 5 portions. So why are we focusing on girls' literacy? Why girls? Why literacy? Let me share a few eye-opening statistics. I don't generally like statistics because they can be manipulated and up or down to suit whoever is.
Mm-hmm.
But this is today, UNESCO says there's between 129 to 250, that's a pretty wide gap, million school-age girls who are out of school worldwide. Let me say that again.
Mm-hmm.
129 to 250 million school-age girls who
Wow.
are out of school worldwide. Two-thirds of all illiterate adults are women, and that number has not changed in 20 years. And for every year a girl stays in school, her future income rises by up to 20%. That's not just a personal gain, that is generational shift.
Mm-hmm.
But girls face unique challenges. Some are married off as children before they finish primary schools. That's one of the biggest issues, depending on the part of the globe that you are in. Last week, I spoke about global south and global north, but it doesn't matter. These are still issues. Some can't afford feminine hygiene products, and so they miss class every month. So their
Mm-hmm.
education is interrupted and again and again. Some have a long, dangerous, literally defying, death defying distances just to get to school, if there's even one nearby.
Mm-hmm.
And some are simply told, you're a girl. Why do you need to read? Imagine that's your future, just cast with a few words. You're a girl. Why do you need to read? These barriers aren't just obstacles, they're walls that lock entire communities in poverty. And
Mm-hmm.
number two, here is how literacy liberates. But here's the good news, literacy is a key that opens almost all of those locked doors. So, number one, economic empowerment. Literate women are more likely to start businesses, to earn income, and to support their families. In India, for instance, women who complete basic literacy programs are now leading micro enterprises, contributing to their local economies, and becoming role models for the younger girls. So the cycle is being broken because the younger women are seeing that and they're saying, yes, I can too, right? Then there's health and well being. A literate girl becomes a woman who can read a prescription. She can understand a vaccination schedule if she goes for that and access health information because she can read and do her own research. Did you know that a literate mother is twice as likely to immunize her child? And some immunizations are okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
She can
Yep.
even tell the difference between those, what's good and what's not good. In rural Kenya, when young mothers participated in literacy programs, maternal and child health improved dramatically. Less sickness, more awareness, and better choices because you can read. Leadership and participation. Literate women are more likely to vote, to advocate, and to challenge injustice wherever they see it. They speak up, they vote, they advocate, they change things. In Nepal, women who participated in literacy circles went on to run for local office, organize their communities, and they challenged the child marriage laws. Literacy gives girls a voice, and when girls speak, change happens. Part three, here's how communities are transformed. Now let's zoom out and see when girls are educated and empowered, it doesn't stop with them, it spreads.
Mm-hmm.
They raise children who are more likely to attend schools. They start businesses that create jobs. They form support networks, which is a key thing for women. They collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. They push back against outdated norms, and they do it in all kinds of ways, quietly if it's needed to, or they take platforms. In Bangladesh, the Black Education Initiative helped reduce child labor and improve local economies by supporting female-led cooperatives. Communities became stronger because girls were learning. That's the ripple effect of literacy. We don't just break cycles, we start movements. So, what
Yes.
can we do? This is not a problem without solutions. Thank God for that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what works: community learning centers, bringing education closer to where girls live so they don't have to travel those life threatening distances. Scholarship and menstrual hygiene kits, removing financial and physical barriers. Because, as I said, every month, these girls, young women, because they can't afford the hygiene kits that they need, they have to stay home, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Then there's the mother daughter literacy programs, empowering two generations at once. I love that. Supporting local NGOs like CampFed, the Malala Fund, and Girl Rising. And while global one global movement is a global movement, you can support it too, obviously, by at least liking and sharing our Facebook link, which I have already posted in the chat. Okay.
Yes.
Even sharing stories, donating books, like you said, or mentoring can make a difference. We all have a role to play, and there's no role too small.
Yes.
So I love acronyms. So I have this acronym. It's called LIFT, like in lift, LIFT. LIFT. So L is the literacy access for all girls. We can ensure that that happens in our own communities. Support those organizations that are doing that. Investment in educational infrastructure, female-led community support, and transportation to empowerment, because that's what lift means. It means to lift up these young people who are doing their best to grow into effective human beings, right?
Mm. Yes.
They can't do it alone. When we lift a girl through literacy, she rises and she takes her family, her community, and her future with her. She doesn't go there alone. This is what we mean by the multiplying effect of what women do when they're educated, when they're literate. So let's break the cycle and let's lift. And then I didn't mention the technology, because the, some of the population that we're speaking of here don't have access to that, or they don't have consistent access, But online learning is really gaining traction to where it's available, right? Girls who
Right.
cannot attend school due to conflict or cultural norms or distance, they can access learning remotely. And examples are the Khan Academy, KHAN, Coursera, Allison, and one now new one called African Storybook. And this is for literacy development. And this is what it helps. It helps with self-paced learning, because girls who help with chores or are caregiving can learn in flexible time blocks. And what I see with that is that it's not going to be this or that. They can have it both, right? They can
Mm.
still accomplish what they're required to do at home. So nobody has to say you can't because we need you here. They can learn late at night when they finish their chores, right?
Yes.
And it's low cost or free. Many of these platforms, these techie platforms, offer free or low cost courses, reducing financial barrier. And then they're exposed to global content, right? Expand their horizons, to boost confidence and offer a skill. Example, coding, English, health, literacy. The challenge is, though, as I mentioned, is the inconsistency of it. We talked about that every time, sister, about people having to go on mountaintops or
Yes.
hills to
Yeah.
try to act it. But you'll be surprised how when people have a wish, a will, they find these ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are doing that. And there are lots of courses here that I could mention, but I will leave that for you to jump in now, and please add what you have to say. I have something more to say when you're almost finished.
Yeah, I think I will give the stage to our beautiful sister who joined us here today.
Yes,
Maybe she
yes.
will need to go, so I will let her go first. Sister, you're welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us here today.
Greetings,
Thank you,
Sister
Sister
Melanie.
Mon. Hello,
Hi.
hello, sisters. The good
Hi.
news is I am off
Yeah.
today. So, yeah, I was trying hard to get the StreamYard link, but I didn't realize you had put it in the chat, Sister Yvonne Finn. So, thank you.
You are so
Anyhow,
Yeah.
welcome.
yeah, I'm here and I'm delighted to be part of the podium, or whatever you call
Yes,
it, the stage.
yes.
Um, Yeah, well, as far as the young girls or the young women, right?
Mhm, mhm.
When a young woman learns to read, they begin to write their new future, right? Because they're interested in themselves, what they're about to do, what they're
Mm-hmm.
about to bring forward to their community or their country on a whole. And
Yes.
so they learn to read so that that can come to fruition. I love that
Mm-hmm.
word fruition. That's my favorite. They
Yeah.
don't just do it for themselves, but they do it,
Yes.
as I said, for the entire community, a country, or even for the world, because they would shine when when they learn to read, they're enlightened, right?
Yes. Yes.
And by standing up with them, with these young people, young women or young girl, whatever you may call them, we are investing in them.
Mm-hmm.
More or less, we are never giving up on them because they too are becoming the potential for tomorrow, right? The power. They have power and they will have potential for doing the things of tomorrow because we always know the young people today are the leaders of tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Things we can do is to, as we used to talk about it, it's similar. We can be behind them as a drive, the
Yep.
driving force. In other words, we can have a book club.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about online, Sister Yvonne, before. So we
Mm-hmm.
can continue doing that again and having frequent little meetings with them, see how their day is going, what have they done, what have they studied, and then we can give them encouragement. Not just we who are on the platform, but there's
Mm-hmm.
many women who have gone through things and who have ideas. We can come together to bring the ideas to light and give these younger people a foot in. They say a foot in the mud, but it won't be in the mud. A foot in their life, right? They're going to step forward and they're
Yes.
going to do better because they have a driving force behind them. So if
Yes.
we cannot do that as older leaders, then yeah, I'm sure we're gonna do it. The other
Mm-hmm.
thing is, Sister Yvonne Finn, I heard you mention about the sanitary, like napkins, whatever they
Yes.
need, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
smiles in a bag.
There you go. I was going to
Is
say,
that yeah? So smiles in a bag is the aim of bringing those things.
yes.
I'm not the only one, but I'm just talking on my own that I
Yes.
studied, which is part of
Of
Yeah.
um
course.
one GM, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there goes. So everything is coming together. We are resonating because we are thinking alike. We are the same mind, and they say
Yep.
great mind think alike because we know what we are about to do or we are doing. Because Sister Yvonne, I see you working hard on the field, man. I see you doing all the, and I'm longing for these green leaves for
Believe
myself
me.
even.
Someday you guys will
Yeah,
take a vacation and you just come to the One Global Movement. We should do that someday.
yeah. So yeah, so I haven't forgotten. And yesterday I was talking to a friend about the community garden, and it's kind of tough to get. It's a challenge, but
Mhm.
I've taken the step, and I've written to the MP or the PM, sorry, Prime Minister. Not
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have written, and I'm hoping that I'll get an answer because you know
Yeah.
how they kind of. I don't
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
say it on public because this is
I
funny.
know.
But
I
yeah,
know.
I have written to them, and you know, I I stated my point. I stated what we are like. I did not mention one global movement, but I said there is a movement. It's which is already in play. Things are happening, but we want to do our part to put together to one force for the world where young people can indulge in the things in life in a good way and where we as a community can eat better, think better, sleep better, things like that. I put together a nice little
Yes.
um,
Yes.
chart and I sent it through with my name, my email address. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that something will come through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
It might make it might take more than one time, sister, but I know that, because a lot of
yeah,
people, they do get whatever they need, just being persistent. They say, but if you don't ask, you don't get, right? So you just,
yes,
yeah,
You'll get it.
exactly.
You're gonna get it. Just keep
Yeah,
the when you
absolutely.
keep doing it, they will just say, you know what? She's serious. She
Yeah,
really needs this. And then
exactly.
they'll give it. Yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Persistently.
yeah. I also let them know that I have a business account and I have studied a charity. I put the name of the charity. So let me see what happens.
Yep.
I'll be on top of it because
I'm sure.
I'm looking around. I'm Sister Yvonne Finn, you're in Canada with me, and I know Sister Yvonne Mundih is already looking because she started.
And I
And we
can
Yeah.
can,
drive and come there too.
You got
yeah, we can see what's happening around the world. We can
yes, we
see,
can.
you know,
Yes, we
so
can.
we can educate the young people by being, like I said, being behind them. It's a driving force. If they
Mm-hmm.
see the bigger people, it said, okay, we have a strength, we have a force, we have people fighting for us, we have people leading us, and people will be there to lift us up. So that
Yes.
will give them big time push, encouragement, and it will cause them to continue to do what they want to do because they are not
Absolutely.
feeling left alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they know they are guided,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Mm-hmm.
what we want for them, right? So
Yes, it
whenever
is.
they learn, it is for the good, and it's for the good of their community, the good of their school, even the world on a whole, because they are
Mm-hmm.
not alone. They are getting involved with other groups, other people.
Yep.
Yep. And we
Wow.
all need support, don't we? Because I mean, even
Yes.
if we can't send them money or whatever, just knowing that there's somebody else rooting for you, whatever, doing whatever little things, even just promoting whatever they're doing, that's a help.
Yep.
Nobody is an island, as we say so many times here. We need each other, and collaboration,
Yes.
cooperation. Yes.
Yes.
So thank you.
That's,
That was
thank you
well
so much.
delivered,
I
sister.
love
Thank
what
you.
you just shared here, Melanie. I'm so grateful
Yes.
that
Yes.
you're off today. Otherwise,
Yes.
so I we are praying and we really ask that you have a breakthrough with that because when you have that land with what you already established in Canada, one global movement would then be a part of that because remember we already established these gardens in two countries already, two places in Cameroon. Charity begins at home, and
Yes,
then
it does.
in Liberia. Because when we are talking here, we have to put them in practice so that these kids will begin to see what they're doing, and they already sold their first consignment of chicken. They are now repeating again to do it. So that is a wonderful thing. And Wasi, one of the One Global Movement volunteers in Cameroon, is building another commercial chicken coop and also a garden where this kid, he is already teaching young kids now, taking them to the garden because the daughter is One Global Movement ambassador. She's only 7 years old. So the daughter is very, very hardworking. It takes after the father. So they're doing those things. So when you get that, One Global Movement will be a part. That means we have extended to Canada. That will give
Mhm.
us causes to move. Like me, I come there, we spend the weekend doing something with the children present. So we are
Mhm.
really actually putting things into practice so that they see because the doing is what they understand the most. So thank you
Yes.
so much for bringing that and for being on here today. And sister, thank you for that wonderful presentation. As always, I'm really so happy because we are speaking from the heart. We are
Yeah.
speaking from the heart, and because we are doing these things, because there are different ways of doing things. If you
Yeah.
cannot do it this way, you can do it the other way. And
Mhm.
when we bring this together, then it becomes something so impactful and phenomenal. And let me just say this before I really give my own contribution, which is going to be a repeat, but in a different format according to our experiences and our
Yes.
upbringing. You know, this topic is very, very important and very dear. All the topics are, but this one, One Global Movement is born out of a unique story. When we are talking about education for the girls, especially in those communities that don't value female education, that becomes so important to me. I pay
Mhm.
much emphasis and I do all kinds of research. I talk with people, interview people, and what is happening, especially in those regions where the education for the female child is still a problem. If you remember, I was denied an education and forced into
Mhm.
marriage at the age of 11. And thank God to my grandmother who fought to the nail, and I am here today. And thank God for my mother, my brothers, and my village that came together to say, no, this one will go to school because I'm the kind that I wanted to speak like the educated because I thought that the educated speak in a certain way, and I still carry that accent now with me because I thought they were speaking at the tip of their tongues. And so I will always go third, third, third. Things that don't require TH, you hear it from my mouth, and it's there. It's been there now forever. And then I wanted to walk like the educator because I wanted to carry my file and walk in a certain way, in a very
Yes.
elegant way. And I will, wherever there is, I will see a pen and a piece of paper and a pencil, whatever, I will pick it up. And I will want to write. I was the letter writer and the courier of my village. And they realized, the parents of the village realized that this child loves to go to school. And and eventually I went to school and further my education to come to the United States, which is very good. But here's the thing: kids, like we always say here, those that don't have access to the internet, those that really want to catch a glimpse of what we are doing here in One Global Movement and other things that they are also studying from in the world, they go up the hill, the mountain, to catch that internet. And they take that risk, that time to go there. That shows how important it is. And when I was going to school, we didn't have electricity in our compound. We didn't have water. But I would tell you, we were studying around the fireplace, really laying down on our stomach, and we were happy because we had the firewood and we were studying, we were doing our homework. And then later we also use part of the palm nuts. The remains of the palm nut, we form a lamp that is called trukang. When we light it, the whole place is like it's electricity. We were just like we were in heaven, And so we didn't see anything as poverty because we ate and we ate healthily. The food was just there unless it was taken away from us. So things were going well. So imagine now in a world that is so developed. Imagine what we could come together to do to help those kids that are going through all of that. And we talk about sanitation for the female child. We talk about Smiles in a Bag, which is a coincidence that Melanie has that program, and it's one of the programs of One Global Movement. Imagine
Nice.
all these kind of things in the back, according to the child, the uniqueness of the child's upbringing, or whether the child is a girl or boy, or according to their needs of their different environment. Imagine just putting those things there. And one of the programs, maybe you guys will come up with a name, that we want here in One Global Movement is something that we can start working on how to produce these sanitary pads. It's easy. Somebody can write it down and let's work on that. One Global Movement can train children, or we train ourselves, we become train the trainer, or we send these kids to school, we sponsor them to go and learn and have that as their own business. How about that? And we can start producing those things. So because I have seen, like you guys mentioned, I have gone to school with girls that did not return to school because they were laughed at when they had their periods. It stained them, it disgraced them, and instead of these kids, they didn't know any better. Helping, they laughed and they never came back to school. They stayed like that without an education. I have seen it firsthand. And
But sister, sorry to interrupt you, but that's also a function of discounting the girl, isn't it? Because why should that be so shameful that you can't return to school? It's just an accident like any other. It's like, why should that deter them? And you're right, I've seen that too, but I've seen that here too. Yes. So this is how women are relegated to a different standard of, you know what I'm trying to say? Why should that deter you from going back to school? It's just an accident like any other.
And like any other, it's just like I can have a running. Sometimes somebody can pee on themselves. It's not because of any reason, because you don't know what is going on with them. You rush to that person. Sometimes you don't have have gloves. Rush to that person and use your bare hands to help that person, and then go sanitize yourself, wash yourself up. I'm saying this, taking an example from my son. When my son was younger, we went to a dentist. Some of those products or chemicals that they use can really agitate somebody, and then you feel nauseated, and actually sometimes you throw up. This dental assistant was helping my son. My son started throwing up. Guess what this lady did? This lady rushed with the hands like this. My son was throwing up inside her hands, and I saw I saw a humanity in this lady. I started crying of happiness. Let us support girls in this country, in North America, in America. It's some I have seen where young men, even older men, they are laughing at women because of menstruation. They are talking
Yes,
about it in
yes,
a very
yes,
disgusting
yes.
way, and that is not okay. It's just the same like the person that stain themselves. They are laughing at them. You yourself too, you're laughing. We are in a world where we can do something about it. We can do
Absolutely.
something about it, and
Yes.
we were going to, by the grace of God, implement this as one of the programs of One Global Movement. If I have a way, I even want to go to school myself to learn how to produce those parts in order,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
that we can
Mm-hmm.
produce them en masse. And
Yes.
sometimes I think about even going to China where the labor is cheaper, so that we can do that and ship them to different schools, because a
I
lot of
hear
these
that.
things it's not good on the girls. And so it's a lot of things, and thank God that we here we've experienced it, even if not personally, but we've seen others, and now we
Yes.
really talk about it. So
Yes.
now I am going to begin today with a with a powerful call to action for female education, because this is so important to me. I'm so passionate about it. I am speaking here today. Lots and lots of young girls don't have that opportunity. I almost missed out because I would have died and I would not be here today. But I was spared from all the young girls that were going through what I was going through. I was the only child that was spared. And I take that so personal, that I was spared for a reason, to be
Yes.
able to carry this experience, this gospel to the world. Because I did not die, God blessed me with the breath in my lungs. So I am going to continue to do this, and doing it with action and really empowering these young people. But now, not just girls and boys, because they will work together, they will marry, they will live together. So we empower both. And we're going to talk about uh, 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 something that concerns the male child, the young boy especially. And I will urge that young men come, fathers who know how to talk about that, who have taught their young sons about that, because kids who are not, young boys who are not well taught, they go through masturbation that is so addicting, and because the father did not teach them what to do. So
Yes.
we will be talking about things like that here as well. And we're looking for ways to learn, not because we have all the answers, not because we know, but we talk about the little that we know, because when we bring our knowledge together, these things will begin to help. So it's so important that sorry about my alarm. So now,
It's okay.
a powerful call to invest in female education. Invest in me.
Absolutely.
Invest in Sister Yvonne, invest in Sister Melanie, invest
Absolutely.
in the female child and literacy as a poverty eradication tool. Let us,
Yes.
we can do it.
Yes.
Buy
Yes.
a book, a pencil, a pen. Some don't cost up to $1. We are going to be
Mhm.
producing digital and physical One Global Movement magazines, that we want to reach 1 million subscribers, just $1 a month, so that when we take the proceeds from that, this know, and these young people, that there is a place for me. Live in the world, there is a place for me that respect me uniquely and accept me the way I am, that they are private about what I do, that they respect me regardless of what I know or what I don't know. Because I want us here to really encourage our children to put emphasis on skills building. Don't just go
Yes.
to school because you think you want to go to school to get a PhD in this or this and then be waving it in the air. No. What is your gift? What is your purpose? What,
Yeah.
when you look around your home and in your community, in your village, what do you see as a problem that you can provide a solution to? Then you go to school to do that. Don't just do any kind of thing. And we have a lot that we can do. So, breaking the circle, how literacy liberates girls and transform community, is a very powerful topic. And I'm really grateful to my beautiful sisters here who are always bringing out these topics from their personal experiences. So in
Mm-hmm.
every corner of the globe, ladies and gentlemen, in every corner of the world where poverty has rooted itself, where hope dims in the eyes of young girls and where the voices of future leaders remain unheard, there lies one undeniable truth.
Yep.
Literacy is not a luxury.
It's
It
not.
is
It's not.
liberation.
It is.
It's liberation. And literacy is not limited to the classroom. It's not limited to the home. It is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
we talk about building boots that we talked about last time, and you guys are always talking about it in corners of the street. I'm thinking about a government building that I can go there and put a box, One Global Movement Literacy Corner, and see what,
Mm.
or I go to the bank or I go to places. And thank God that we all bring this knowledge here. Melanie discussed that last time so well that I was so happy that she talked about that. It is liberation. One Global Movement believes that breaking the circle of generational poverty and injustice begin with opening the pages of knowledge to every girl child. Yes, open those
Wonderful.
pages, no limitation. We were created by the same image, in the same
Mm-hmm.
image by Almighty God. So we should not relegate the female child to the background, because we will be missing out on a lot of the blessings that she was brought into the world with. So for millions of girls, following the statistics that our sister Yvonne said, especially in undeserved or underserved regions, the inability to read or write is not merely a challenge, it is a life sentence to
It
early
is.
marriage. It is a life sentence to early marriage, child labor, exploitation, and dependence. We see here in I was watching something about some other countries like Kenya, Burkina Faso, and other areas, because I seek to know what is happening in the world, because we
Right.
want to include every child. This
Mm-hmm.
young lady was talking to the leader, the president of that country, really pleading, because she has seen, as young as she is, girls being whisked into early marriages
Oh
without
yes.
education.
Oh
And that's
yes.
why you see one of our graphics says education first, education first for the female child. And she was pleading, and the president said yes. And that is being implemented. No
Yes.
father,
Yes.
no parent, no mother will ever send their child into marriage without education of some sort.
Yes,
Education,
because education gives options, right? If you don't have an education, you really, as you're always saying, one or two option is not. Give give the world. Let them make their choices, and this is what we're saying here. And no child should be limited to any condition that's not of their own making,
there you go.
right? This is what we say in our one global movement. I mean, it just says it all, sister. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, this is the point you're making, right?
Yes, yes,
No limitations that's not caused by what your choices that you make. We're not going to force anybody to make choices, but at least lay the groundwork for them to be able to make those choices.
yes. So important. And if you don't know, ask questions. Let's do this together. You have Sister Mel here. You have Sister Yvonne. You have a lot of us here. Please, let us do this together. For me, considering what I have been given, considering the life that I have been given in the place where others lost theirs, I am prepared to plan and take a flight to go to places, areas that are finding difficulties with education, especially for the female child.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm writing books. Books will be coming out so that we can be shipping out books to and establishing one global movement booths in different areas of the world, especially in school areas or in libraries or in public areas where children can read. Reading, reading. If they don't know how to read and write, how are they going to learn and acquire the skills? Let us build those libraries in our home, not just the virtual libraries, physical. Take the children to read. Even if you don't know how to read, sit there and you admire them to read. This is very, very important for us. So, but when a girl learns to read, she learns to lead. When they
Yes.
learn to read, they will learn to read. When she is empowered with education, with a skill, her future is no longer dictated by statistics, such as the statistics that Sister Yvonne read there, but
Mm-hmm.
shaped by vision, by a voice and purpose. the purpose that comes from within the heart. A literate girl becomes a liberated woman. And children in the home, by nature, they copy their mothers more. And that is the more reason why we need to educate the woman so that the children will learn. When the mother is educated, equipped with skills, the children will copy. They copy
Mhm.
immediately. That is so important. A
Yeah.
liberated woman becomes a light to her community and her village. And so this is very important. The mission of One Global Movement, as Sister Yvonne read, is grounded in dignity, not,
It is.
not forcing. It's grounded in equity and generational transformation. We
Yes.
advocate not just for access to education, but for quality education
Mm-hmm.
and for equality and equity. And we also advocate for generational transformation. What skills are you building? What generational wealth are you building that you're going to leave it for your descendants up to 100 generations, so that they
Yes.
can just keep adding, and without changing the rules, they just keep adding. it
Yes.
becomes it becomes a cornerstone and a mantle of hope for your family. What are you
Mm.
leaving? Have you written one? We need to write it. I've written it, and I keep adding every day. This is very important for us. We don't just relegate our children in the hands of teachers. They are doing their best. Remember, those teachers also have their own responsibilities. So it starts from the home with us. So we have to advocate not just for access to education, but for quality education and culturally empowering literacy
Yes.
programs that work for the child uniquely in that community, in that culture. It's not a one size fits all education that we are talking about here. So,
Yes.
and program that will empower them with knowledge and uplift the diverse voices of girls globally and their spirits, uplift their spirit. So, through
Mm-hmm.
literacy, our girls learn the language of freedom, just flying. You know how sometimes I don't know, some people might see me and say, it looks like she's not doing okay. I just go into the garden and I breathe, because now I can study, I can learn, I can do better,
Yes.
because of an education that was given me for free by
Yeah.
parents of the village. And now you guys are here. Maybe you think that you're just here. You're also empowering me. Okay, you're also empowering people. Through literacy. Girls learn the language of freedom, the vocabulary of confidence. Do you know
Yes.
that, like, you guys are speaking here so confidently because you have a skill? You have something to offer the world. That's why you
Yep.
can afford to speak. That's why I
Yep.
can afford to speak like this. So,
Yep.
what are we doing? Ask yourself. You don't have to wait to pay tuition for a child to go to school. Why don't you form community programs to educate, to start reading programs to children? I already
Mm-hmm.
started one. I went to visit a family of three little young, beautiful young girls, and I'm going to start with them with a reading program for these little girls. Then eventually I will add the families. I keep adding in
Mm.
voice.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
And so that they will see the value of a book. And before I go, I'm going to take two of the books that my son has written to
Ah,
instill the spirit of early reading in children, because when the graphics there attract their
yes,
psychology,
it
attract
does. It
children.
does.
So
Yeah.
we'll read, and I will record them so that we can watch here. That will be our sample family, that first family. Three little girls. And this young lady, how did I meet her? Through a job. She calls me mommy, and I'm fit to give her birth too. And so I want to really help with the children, because when I went there to, she supported One Global Movement with the vegetable. When I went there to deliver, I saw that the kids need some kind of structure, and it has to come through reading. And so
Mm-hmm.
I decided that it takes me 1 hour to go there and 1 hour to come back, but I will do that
Yeah.
because you are investing in children. That is very,
Absolutely.
very important. So,
Absolutely.
you know, girls can shift from being told who they are to declaring who they choose to become
Be-
according to their creation. That
Yeah.
I am the apple of God's eye. That I was born to do
With
great things
greatness.
in the world. That I'm not reduced to who you think I am, but I am uplifted to who God created me to be. And so
Yes.
this is very important because I do this to myself. This is how my grandmother taught me, and I came out of a lot of the challenges that I was facing. And so literacy is the seed, liberation is the harvest.
Yes.
Sow the seed in illiteracy. Don't just think that it's a garden to plant apple and harvest and eat, or watermelon or the green. No, you can sow a seed in in education, and then you have a liberation of the mind. It's so
Absolutely.
important. When you educate a girl, you do not educate a single individual. Remember, you guys talk about women are multipliers.
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
are.
are. Give
Yeah.
us something, we multiply, we turn it into not
Yes.
just three. We turn it from seven upward. We turn those things into to multiply, to help others, not just girl. When you educate a girl, please, you have done something good. You do not educate a single individual. You ignite a, a wildfire of transformation.
True.
Literate girls are more likely to delay marriage until they
Yes.
arrive 18 years and above, because otherwise they will contact health problems like obstetric fistulas that
Yes.
I have seen firsthand in my village, affecting mothers that were pushed into marriage at a very young age. Remember, my mom is suffering from that. But thank God that my mom is here and she's exposed to good medical care. Otherwise, she would have been gone. Okay. And I have seen that first class. And that's why we are so passionate about these things. So when you educate a girl, you ignite that kind of wildfire of transformation that will help her to also ignite the same fire in her own children, and therefore delay marriage and raise healthy children, generate income, not just income, thrive, develop the little businesses that will accumulate, micro businesses that will come together, like you guys mentioned micro businesses. When they come together, they will make things big and better, and they will contribute to sustainable development. The empowerment ripples into improved health, economic growth, and peace. Peace is very important. And so
Mm-hmm.
one global movement collaborates with grassroots educators. Even if we collaborate with them, but we want to create, we go to people. We don't just sit and wait. That is why I want to go to this family right in their own homes and
Right.
begin to do those things there, so that they will be comfortable in their own spaces, right?
Yeah.
Education like academy brought right to their door, right? So, youth leaders and international allies to ensure that every girl, regardless of their geography or gender bias, has the opportunity to become literate and limitless. Like you
Yes.
said, with the AI, and sometimes people who don't have it, we can then go to them. But with AI, in those areas where we don't have electricity, or
Yeah.
they don't even
Yes.
have the
Very-
buy a
Yeah.
computer, then
Yeah.
we can then fall back in person. So when girls write their own stories, imagine I'm writing my story now every
Yes,
day.
you are. Yes,
When
you
girls
are.
write their own stories, communities write their future. They inspire communities to rewrite their future. Do you know? Maybe you guys don't understand, because if you don't go through what I went through and get that kind of experience, you will not understand. But I am so passionate about this because now I thank God that my father put me through that. Even though no child should be made to endure those kind of things,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm alive, and this is changing my life for the better. So we
Yeah.
have to break the chains and
We do.
build the future. We must ask ourselves this question. Very important. What circles are we continuing if we allow our girls to grow in silence? What circle are we continuing? In darkness, in illiteracy, and more importantly, what legacies can we build together if we choose instead to empower these young girls? That is a very
Mm.
important question that we all must ponder. And at One Global Movement, we declare no more girls denied the right to education. That's what we are declaring here.
No more.
Yes,
Absolutely.
no more. No
Absolutely.
more future decided by fear or poverty. No more. No more communities robbed of the brilliance their girls were born to offer. Don't allow that to happen. They have a lot. Let
Mm-hmm.
encourage them. Some of them have shrunk into their spaces because society has pushed them into those spaces. But
Mm-hmm.
give them that voice by giving them the love and skills and education that they deserve to be there. So instead, we say yes to mobile literacy. Yes, mobile literacy centers that Sister Melanie and Sister Yvonne talked about last time. Yes to
Yeah.
mother-daughter reading circles.
Yep.
Mother-daughter reading circles. Yes
Yep.
to culturally relevant curriculum. And yes to the universal truth that literacy is a human right. It's not a
Yep.
luxury. It is a human right.
It is.
Therefore,
It is.
let the ink in girls' hand break the chains around her soul. Let the ink in girls' hands break the chains around her soul. So one
Absolutely.
global movement declares that, and finally, a global call to action. Please, we are not just building schools. We are building a global movement of courage, compassion, and as leaders and as healers of a broken world, let us partner with mothers, with fathers, teachers, and tribal elders. Let us teach, enrich the unreached, please. Let us find and let us fund not only books, but dreams. Don't just say, I'm going to give a book. Did you find out about that, the dream of that young girl? And we include a young boy here, but girls in particular, let us make literacy the revolution. Freedom for girls begins with one book, one, just one
Mm-hmm.
voice, one movement, and one global movement. So thank you guys so much for
Yes.
being patient here. We appreciate you. And as I have to be on the go, we're just going to, if you guys wouldn't mind, we want to thank everyone here today. We
Yep.
appreciate you, and we appreciate specifically our sister, who we've seen how she sacrificed her break and she volunteers her break to also serve one global movement, even though she's at work. This is what we are
Yep.
talking about, and we don't just talk, but we are doing it. You see her doing that a lot of times. But try to eat, sister. Don't choke on your food, okay? You here for the long haul. Thank you, and thank you to Sister Yvonne, who is always researching on a lot of things. And we see that the women of Mothers Group, Sister Sharon, a lot of things are coming into place because left to me alone, I will not be
No,
able
you
to.
can't do it all.
That
No,
is
no.
why I can afford. You see me laughing with the animals and doing the hauling the vegetable, because these powerful women and the men are here to continue to help behind the scene. Let us continue the
Thank you,
work.
sister.
The
Thank you.
children are waiting for us. They are waiting for that hope. So thank you guys so much. If you permit me, I will not be able to read the names, but thank you guys so much. We know who we are, and we're going to start taking inventory of all the names here for a good purpose. Why? We want to honor our CEO because that is the purpose for which he brought us together as a world family. So we want our CEO to know, not just wanting people to just come here just because they are coming, but we know those that are here from the bottom of their heart doing what we are
Yes.
supposed to be doing, so that we will present these people to our CEO as a thank you for what he has brought together in the form of human resources for the purpose of providing us with the tools that we can help these young people, women and children around the world. So that is what we're going to be doing here. And please, sister, take note of that. And one person can just take that responsibility for me and be writing down those names. And then when we write down the names, we give a check mark of what they're doing, because that's accountability. We're not just doing things.
Mhm.
Working with children, accountability is very important. We must account for ourselves before we want the children to also account for themselves. So we love you, Sister Melanie. Maybe you have something because you came on here today. I'm going to let you do.
Okay.
Before you
Um,
go, sorry, Sister Melanie, one moment. Before you close, sister, just at least mention the Facebook link, please.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
that is very important.
Sorry, sister. Go ahead, sister.
that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I will mention the
Yeah.
Facebook link. Let me put, mount it on the screen. It's right here. Thank you, sister. And please, we need people to go to One Global Movement Facebook page. Sister Melanie, go. The managing director, everyone here, go to our page. And sister, that thing that you write, Sister Yvonne, you wrote something about One Global Movement, right? How do you call that?
It's just a little message, a short little prompt. That's all it is.
Yes, write something about One Global Movement, what we're doing. The algorithms will take it, and Facebook, because there are eyes on us, okay? Even people that don't know or they would write to me, we are, our eyes is on you guys. And
Yes,
so
yes,
that is
yes.
important. So
Yeah.
please go there, write something about One Global Movement.
And try to use some of the keywords. Try to use some of the keywords that we have here, you know?
Yes, use some of the keywords. If you know our vision statement, like we read it every day, then you
Every
will know what
Wednesday.
to write.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
please
yeah.
do something so that we will have some of the resources that we actually need, because this is how some big people or some people that are able to help will start coming to help us. But we have to put ourselves out there in a
Yeah.
very good way. But if what we do here resonates with you, that is what we should be doing anyway. But if it doesn't resonate with you, that's still fine too. Maybe not
Yeah.
today, some other day, but we need more than 300 people to go there and write about One Global Movement. And you can always go there to repeat in different ways and write
Yeah.
about it. So
Yes,
that is
yes,
the
you
link
can.
to it.
Yes, you
So
can.
thank you, Sister Melanie. Yeah, it's all yours.
You're welcome. Yeah, so when you were talking about sponsoring the children, like we start with free children with their parents, I think you mentioned, and Sister Yvonne talk about AI. I was smiling because we live in the age of AI now, and I know not everywhere is AI prompted, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, starting if maybe one child or two children, Sister Yvonne, you have free.
Yes.
Starting if one or two online,
Mhm.
I would take on my on and off on my own because I have a Zoom link, and
Yes.
sometimes I don't even use it. I use it anyhow.
Can I use your
Um,
link?
yeah. I gave you permission the last time, but
Oh, okay. Thank you.
yeah, I did mention that. And it's
Yes.
the good Zoom, the Zoom with AI built in, right? That's
Yes.
the one I have, the latest one. So
Okay.
Yeah.
anyhow, I used to teach catechism, as you all know, catechism, first communion, these things.
Wow,
And
that's beautiful.
children they used to like me because I have a way in me. I'm not boasting myself, but when you're being natural and real, when you're
Yes.
being yourself, people will
Yes.
flock to you. That's how I look at it. And
Absolutely.
you have children, you can take two children on or one child one by one because every small action counts. And we can go on Zoom or even on your link here, sister. But on Zoom, it's better because you have the whiteboard, you have these things. And
Yes.
the children, you can help them to read, let them read, correct them, and let them teach you their language. You teach them your language. And this is how we learn. I
That's
was thinking that. And then after each of us do it, whether it's 6 people or whoever wants to join in on it, we come together at a certain point once a month, bring the children, and we together with them and other people, and we'll hear their story, we'll hear what they have to say, right?
yeah.
This is how
Yeah.
we are spreading education. We don't have to have a backpack, although it's
No.
kind of necessary to go to hop on every country like before. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
Bible says you brought Samaria. We are to go to the outermost part. The outermost part is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's AI age, and we have all this media, right?
Yep.
So we can bring people in and let the children read in by sight. They're there with us. We can correct them, teach them a language. They in turn teach us their language. And what a nice world that would be. It's doable.
Can you do that, please? Write the program down. Let's start. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. Very important, because this is what we are talking about. Let's do it. And then so that, like me, who takes some of the ambassadors and other children and families to the garden, then
Yeah.
now it is in practice. And AI has helped. This technology has helped us a lot, because think about how parents would be thinking about transportation. Even you and I were thinking about transportation to move. If we have to go there, then we know that that's an option. But we have a better option where we can start just like you're saying. So please bring it. Let's do it.
Yep.
Exactly. And the last thing I want to say is don't forget to give stars when we're on the Facebook page, because I used to just take stars literally, the stars on Facebook. You
Uh-huh.
give 100, 200. So I came across my Google receipts and I'm seeing stars. I gave that star, or I got stars, and then it became 140 something, $5. They all add up. So when people give stars, you know, they don't have the money but give stars, it becomes money, and then that money goes to use. So I
Wow,
would
I didn't.
encourage people in
That's
the audience, and with those of us on the line here and other people are listening, let us start doing our due diligence because the world needs us.
Please give
yes,
those stars.
Definitely
Even
need
on
us.
Facebook page, give the stars. Support one another. Everybody that you see, give stars, and try to make a little comment using keywords. Very important. Thank
yes,
you for saying
yes,
that. And
yes,
the Google thing, I'm still going to reach out to you to help me. One of my mentors is trying to help to establish a Google something. Maybe it's the same thing you're talking about. I don't know. But I want you
hmm
to set a Zoom meeting so you can teach me what to do. You tell me, click here,
Yes.
click.
So,
I
so
learn
the
from.
Google is not what I do. It
yeah,
goes on Facebook on your link. So those of us who are supporting your Facebook One Global Movement,
Uh-huh.
there's stars right below, right? It says stars.
Oh,
So we
okay.
give stars. We hit on whether it's 100, 10
okay.
stars,
I
and
never
then it
noticed that.
becomes
Thank
money and it
you.
goes
Yeah,
to Google receipts, but it goes directly to your bank. Or you
to
can
your
Wow.
get the
back.
receipt and take it to your bank.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Very
I will
good,
still
very
set a
good.
meeting to meet with you. Anyway, we'll
Yeah.
talk about it. So please give those stars to everyone.
Now you know we do
One
it.
of
Yes,
our families
absolutely.
here. If I see you on Facebook, I'm going to be giving those stars. Thank you for educating us on that.
Yes, thank you for that, sister.
Welcome.
I never knew that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Sister Yvonne, please, you give us a closing remark because I need to rush out. Thank you.
I know, sister. So it's not going to be long. I just want to state the statistics again. It says two-thirds of all illiterate adults are women. And that number has not changed in 20 years. So we have our part to play. Whatever they've been doing, it's not working. So I'm not saying we should do away with that. I'm simply saying we have to come with our way that we're trying to do it here. What Sister Melanie just mentioned, the things that you have in whatever I'm doing. There's no reason why we shouldn't climb into this space because clearly what has been done 20 years, it hasn't changed.
Mhm,
Two-thirds of all illiterate adults are women.
mhm.
Two-thirds. That's a very bad statistic. That's why I say I don't use them. They're always very depressing and they sound overwhelming. But this is why One Global Movement is here. Because when we educate a woman, we lessen that obviously because we give choices.
Mhm.
And when women are literate, they lift up others. They lift up their family, their communities, their countries. Look at what they do when they advocate, they speak up. So the cycle is broken just by, and as you said, it's not a piece of paper, nothing wrong with that. We're not looking for high degrees. We're just looking to be able to read and write in whatever language you speak, and then you can navigate that community.
Yes. Yes, that alone sets the foundation for a higher degree. That's what we are talking
Absolutely.
about. We respect
Absolutely.
all of that. So, thank you so much for that wonderful conclusion. Thank you so much, Sister Melanie. We're praying for other days.
Yes. Good to
Let them
see
give
you.
you more
Welcome.
updates, okay?
Thank you.
We need more updates. And thank you guys so much. Please anchor yourself and your family. Go back to YouTube and watch this. This presentation and topic today is very important. Keep going back there because the more we keep repeating things, the more we get it. Instead of watching news that is making your head to ache, why don't you anchor your children on this thing? Because this is where the skills start. So thank you guys so much for the patience. And we went way over time. It's one of the big days, like you said, but we are done. And we thank God that you guys brought it home. We all brought it home. Thank you guys so much. Until Friday, we love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Bye. Thank you.
Sisters, bye-bye.
Yes, bye-bye.
Bye, my
Love
dear.
you.
Have a good day.
I
Yes.
will. Thank you. You as well.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, so where you